Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Trying to make it as odd and creepy as possible. Monday, December 18th, and I forgot to unfreeze the screen, so...
Oh, it's camera.
It's not like it's on camera.
My hand is.
Are you just trying to have me charge you points, Pearl?
No.
They're just my fingers. See, we're going to talk about that in a moment. We're going to talk about that, and we'll talk about that. So we have those of you who turned in a thing. There, I think we're pretty good. Tonight, if you have not submitted the thing from Friday, did you guys ask me to extend how long you have? If it's not turned in by tonight, I charge you points, because I have to be able to make that comparison. So I'm just giving you the reminder. I'll do my best to send out a reminder today, being like, hey, make sure you turn it in. I sent out a reminder yesterday, but hopefully that helps you out from there. Mainly because I want to sort of see what your thoughts are of me doing the nonfiction article and having you respond to that and sort of do opinions. All right, tomorrow, semester exam. So on semester exam, I figured if you look on your green sheet below your name, I tried to create a little review guide where it tells you what's going to be on it. So this is, I went through and looked at the exam and looked at every question to make sure I gave you what's on here is on that same thing. It is about 24 questions, if I remember right. I think it's worth about 32 points, because some of the questions are 3 points, some are 2, some are 1. Here's what's going to be on the semester exam. You need to know plot, characters, setting, point of view, the 3 points of view, and the 3 points of view are?
First, second, third.
Not first and second.
First, third, omni, and third limited.
There you go. First, third limited, third omniscient. And so what it is, you're going to have like little clips from the story, and you'll be able to figure out, is this being told in first person, third limited, third omniscient? Isaac?
Are they all multiple choice?
And then you have to know theme, where you have to figure out the theme, remember it's the thing that you learn, and then both conflicts, internal and external conflicts. Then the mountain, you have to know exposition, boring beginning, rising action where it gets exciting, climax, the most exciting, falling actions, not on the test. Apparently we left that one off there because I could not find anywhere it referenced it. And then resolution, the boring ending stuff. Those will all be on there. Similes and metaphors. One of them is a metaphor you have to read and then be able to tell me what two nouns are being compared. So make sure you know nouns. And then irony. There's a cartoon and you have to figure out what's ironic about the cartoon. Foreshadowing, where you have to then go in there and read a thing of the foreshadowing. And then finally, there is a nonfiction article you have to read and then be able to go back in and find evidence to support the answers. And that's the whole thing. Some of the questions are short answers, some of them are multiple choice, some of them are a little bit longer. It just sort of depends from one to the next. And it is a one-time take. You cannot use your notes on tomorrow's because it is not one I made. It is the one that the entire 7th grade is taking, so I don't have control over it. So making sure you're good to go for that one. Questions for there. It's not individual stories, so it's not going to ask you about any story we've read, just making sure you can use these things.
Is it multiple choice?
Where he just said
I know, that's why I was ignoring his question again.
He answered me.
I did. I ignored you when you asked it because I'd answered before, and then about right after that I went ahead and covered it and talked about all the questions again. But you were ignoring me going into your happy place. You were staring at the wall. It's okay. You went to your happy place, Isaac. It's a happy place.
What is it though?
I don't know. And then we're good to go. You can go back and watch the video later. I know you don't, and I don't want to repeat myself. We're good to go on that part. Kieran?
Usually a happy place isn't truly a happy place.
No. And if you're in my room, there is no happy place, so we're safe. Then Thursday's test. This is the one I created. This does have questions over the poems you've been reading. So this is the one that is connected to poetry. There's 2 different sections on there. Words you need to know, poems you need to know. The poems are going to be, I'm going to ask questions about Caterpillar. One of the 7 is the one that had Grumpy from Snow White. Unjust was about Balloon Man. Living Tenderly was about the turtle. Annabelle Lee was the angels. Richard and Cory we're going to do today. Then these last 3 I have not read with you. Particle Man, Spider, and Custer the Dragon. They're on the green sheet if you look at them. If you look at the back of the green sheet, that's one big poem called Custer the Dragon. The bad news is it's long. The good news is it's aimed at 7-year-olds because it's like a little kid's poem, sort of similar to the Dr. Seuss kind. And I figured it should be fairly easy to understand. It's about a dragon and a pirate getting into a fight, but it has a bunch of like rhymes in it and similes and metaphors and things like that. The Spider and Particle Man are shorter but tougher because they're going to require you to understand a lot more similes and metaphors and things like that. Jordan. Sure, pass on the back of the door. Isaac.
Oh, do we have to read those on our own?
Right. Kieran.
Richard Cory is not on this.
Correct. It's on your previous handout. Ah. And then terms. Again, I'm going to have questions about similes, metaphors, idioms, alliteration, rhyme scheme, refrain, literal figurative definitions, and then there is grammar. I will tell you now. Adverbs and prepositions. I'm going to put questions about both ones of those on there. And that'll be Thursday's test. Wednesday I plan on doing the review game where we'll do the buzzers and stuff like that to try and get you. So you're going to want to read these prior to Wednesday because I'll be asking questions on Wednesday that connect to them. And then it will be a different game, as in the bonus round, you're not throwing a ball. I have a different idea we're going to do. Yes.
Wait, I forgot what it is.
Okay. Ellen. Yeah, you guys get to vote. So you guys choose. Not every class did boys versus girls. Some did, some didn't.
Wait, why do we have the test on Thursday, not Friday?
Because a lot more kids are gone on Friday, and you guys are more mentally done on Friday, and I want you guys to do well on it, as opposed to like.
You should tell us
Well,
it's
just
good.
like ace us all.
Wait,
No, she has
It's
to be
on
on
Thursday.
Friday.
oh.
Vivian. What says she didn't?
She doesn't have.
I don't know. Oh, and tomorrow's semester exam is on paper. So
What?
yeah,
Yes!
I didn't know that was gonna freak people out, but
So it's
yeah,
not
it's on paper.
It's still
So
Why does everybody freak out when it's on
don't know.
paper?
Kids are with it.
I don't like paper better. Wait, tomorrow.
So many happy places in here. All right, then our poem today. It's not on the green sheet that we're going to get into. It's on one of your previous handouts, but I don't really want you looking at it anyway because I'm going to put it up here on the screen. But first, do you guys remember what a refrain is from Friday?
Yes. Wait, it's I don't think so.
You wrote the definition on another piece of paper.
It's like a busy word.
It is. There you
Oh,
go.
I guessed.
Nicely done.
Oh, yeah, like.
Refrain is the repeated line that goes throughout the poem. Because then we got to Annabelle Lee, and there's 2 different refrains. So on Thursday, again, Thursday you can use your notes, but it'll say, can you find a refrain? And I'm going to give you a poem to see if you can find a refrain in that poem. So sort of the same idea. I know. And by the way, for tomorrow's semester exam, it's not hard. Those of you who struggle, it's going to come down to one major issue.
Directions.
There you go. Or for some of you, you're going to read the directions, but then there's going to be like the short story you have to read for it or the article, and you won't read that. So that's going to make it tougher. All right. Is there anybody who I've not called on to read yet this year who wanted to read? Because this is our last poem that we're going to give you guys a chance to read. Yeah, that's how it works. And so I was wanting to make sure everyone had a chance to read. So is that you, Jameson? Have I not called on you yet?
Yeah.
And Dylan, have I not called on you to read yet?
You have, but nobody else is raising their hand.
I was wondering if anyone who I've not called on at all. I want to make sure. All right. Then those of you who want to read, I'm more than happy to let you read. I was just making sure I didn't miss anyone. We have 4 stanzas. They're not on your handout. I'm going to have you just write your stanza numbers. Like Liam, write 1 somewhere on your paper so that you know you're 1. And then Dylan, we're going to give you 2. So somewhere on there, write a 2. And then Jameson, we'll give you a 3. So somewhere on there, write a 3. And then Slay, you get 4. Never mind. Then we'll go. Then Caleb will give you 4. Right? All right. So on this, we're going to do one. Oh, wait. Do you guys know what the Great Depression was?
Wasn't it like
Ironically, it was between 2 wars. It was after World War I and before World War II. Do you guys know what happened to America during the Great Depression?
a bunch of they lost money.
Lost a ton of money. They were broke, had no food. So
That's just good.
Whoopsies.
this poem we're going to get into is about a guy, but it's during the Great Depression, which is, again, 100 years ago. But when we did Ingest about the Balloon Man, that connected to your guys' life, because how did the Balloon Man connect to your life?
He was the ice cream man.
So this poem, even though it was written about a guy back during the Great Depression, very much connects to junior high life today. And so as we get into it, let's see if you can figure out how it connects to your life today. Starting off, it's going to have a whole bunch of old terms that you might not recognize, but we'll try to help you out. Yeah.
So you say he likes Fortnite, the guy?
Yes, they're going to talk all about Fortnite in here. No. Who is my stanza 1? All right, Liam. I'm going to have to get out of your way so you can see it up there. Stanza 1.
Whenever Richard Cory went downtown, people on the pavement looked at him. He was a gentleman from soul to crown, clean, flavored, and imperly slim.
Nice. Although I'll change one. It's favored. Clean, flavored. A little weird, but that's okay. We're going to try not to judge too much on that one. So it says, whenever Richard Cory went downtown, we people on the pavement looked at him. He was a gentleman from soul to crown, clean, favored, and imperially slim. First easy question, who are we talking about?
Richard Cory.
Nicely done. And then from there it starts talking about him. It says he's a gentleman, and then it says soul to crown.
Top to bottom. Head.
So S-O-L-E is
Soul.
bottom of your shoe, sole, not S-O-U-L, which is the thing I'm missing inside of me.
Okay.
And then crown is
Your head.
what part of your head?
Hat.
The top.
Top of your head. So, bottom of shoe to the crown of his head. This is an idiom that you guys should know. He just changed the words. Do you guys know the phrase?
Top to bottom.
From head to toe.
What?
Why does the poet not use the phrase head to toe?
Because he's smart.
Oh, because of the thingy. The
time
one ABC thing.
Yes, you're so close.
I don't know.
Rhyme.
Alliteration.
The rhyming. Because what does it have to rhyme with?
Cow.
Crown and town. Jordan. That's fine. Good build up. So soul to crown. So it rhymes. So the part that with Liam, not the first kid to say clean flavored today, so I can't knock you, but in clean favored, I do not believe this is going to be a term that you guys are familiar with. Figured I'd ask. Do you guys know clean favored?
I think.
Okay. Not clean flavor, that'd be vanilla, but clean favored. Ooh. Let me throw an idiom at you. Do you know the idiom to have skeletons in your closet?
Yeah. That's when you have dead people sitting in your
It is
closet.
not. That's your own house. Slay, you look excited. Do you know what it means?
Because I definitely know what it means.
What does it mean?
To have dead people in your closet.
But you're a weird person.
No, I know what it means. That you have stuff in your
You
past.
have
That are
stinky
dead
stuff in your
bodies.
closet.
Just what?
Smelly stuff in your closet.
No,
Dirty
that
clothes.
that is probably what
You
your
do
parents say
have
to
freaking
you guys all the time.
Actually, it's not in my closet. It's in the laundry room.
Tay was close with her second guess on that one.
You have a bad past.
So, skeletons in your closet means there are things in your past you're trying to hide. So the idea of like trying to lock things away in your closet that you don't want people like.
That's what I said.
I know. I'm repeating everything you said word for word, of course. Like if you're going to be a politician and you find out like when you're trying out for a politician that you got arrested when you were a kid, that would be a skeleton in your closet. If when I was a kid, I made a bunch of Instagram videos of me going around slapping kittens, and all of a sudden kids found my old kitten slapping videos, they're like, Mr. Brovicast, you used to slap kittens? And I'm like, no, you know my past. And all of a sudden you guys get to find out, now I'm no longer clean favored. If you're clean favored, do you have skeletons in your closet?
No.
Means you have a good, you guys know what a reputation is?
Yes.
You have a good reputation and people think highly of you. So far, gentleman from soul to crown and clean favored.
Mr. Broken.
Okay.
Get one yourself.
Uh-huh. And then it says imperially slim. You guys, slim means?
Skinny.
So during the Great Depression, a lot of people were thin or skinny.
Because they didn't have food.
They didn't have food. Imperially means the fact that he was rich skinny. Do you guys know what rich skinny would
Well,
mean?
you're rich and skinny.
He was fat and skinny at the same time.
His
How-
money was short.
How a rich person skinny would differ from a poor person skinny?
Because rich
So
and
he
skinny
paid to be
doesn't- rich person works.
You're on the right track.
Oh.
He
He
paid.
meant to be skinny?
Oh, he
got
paid for like
paid to
plastic
get
surgery.
A little farther away on that one.
He could have food, but he's supposed
He pays for food.
So he works out all the time. The fact is like the guys who are in Marvel movies who have the big like Chris Hemsworth and
Yeah.
Chris those guys, they're imperially slim. Thin, but not because they don't have access to food. Thin because they work out all the time. They basically have are ripped. So he does not have a dad bod. So he has good favor, things going for him. Good guy head to toe. Thin, good looking. Well, not good looking yet. We'll find out. Stanza 2. Now we get to find out more about him and how he looks. Uh-huh.
And he was always human when he talked, but still he fluttered. But
Pulses?
when he said good morning, and he glittered when he walked.
Perfect. More confusing stuff. And he was always quietly arrayed, and he was always human when he talked, but still he fluttered pulses when he said good morning, and he glittered when he walked. I don't assume you guys know what array means.
Happy and joyful.
Not a bad guess.
Like an array of sunshine.
Slightly different, but I like your thinking. Jordan?
There's like multiple. There's an array, so there's a lot.
Ooh, not a bad thinking also.
I
We go with, you guys are all currently arrayed right now.
know. Quiet.
I wish.
We're apart.
You're dry, says the
We're-
kid yelling out
Loud.
loud.
We're scattered.
Loud.
Hang on. If you come to school and you are not arrayed, you will be highly embarrassed.
Here.
Oftentimes, girls come to school not properly arrayed
Oh,
and get sent to the office.
Look at clothes.
The clothes you're wearing.
Whoa.
So,
That
arrayed,
was a bit
That's
sexist.
sexist.
That was a bit
We don't
sexist.
care.
I'm sorry, girls complain all the time about it and guys don't. So, I'm not
Well,
saying
yeah,
it's,
because nobody dress
I'm
codes.
not saying it's not. You got it across, didn't it? Do you guys know what loud clothing is?
Like,
It's like very
Yeah.
It's like neon. Wow.
Neon bright. So it says he's quietly arrayed.
Dark color.
like dark blue.
Not bad. So it's not just dark as much as trying to not stand out. While wearing an outfit that allows him to blend in with everybody else, it'll make more sense when we hit stanza 3. We're going to find out like he's not trying to stand out or bring attention to himself. Human with, so if you look up here, he does not wear jewelry. He does not have like a Rolex. There's no gold chain. He's not wearing, you guys know what drip is? I would say he is not wearing drippy stuff at all. When you look at him, you're not thinking drippy, you're thinking as normal as possible. He was always human when he talked.
Why wouldn't he?
So, not bad. Normal when he talked. So, have you guys ever had a teacher that talks down to you and treats you like you're a much younger kid?
Yes.
I do. I didn't know I talked down to you guys.
Melling. Oh my god, Miss Melling.
So,
Bro, her like things today didn't make sense.
I know.
Exactly. Like she needs to give us like a 2-month extension.
When teachers talk down to you, they're not talking to you like you're human. They're talking to you like you're lower than human. So when he is always human when he talks, treats everyone like an equal. If you can imagine if you were to bump into Kim Kardashian on the street, how would Kim Kardashian treat you?
Like a bodyguard. Like I'm a back away.
Exactly. So she would be the complete opposite of him. He is very much, he would take a picture with you, sign an autograph if he were famous, interact with you as much as possible.
Get out here.
Then, fluttered pulses. Do you guys know what pulses are?
Kind of the thing that
Like a steady.
So if it says he flutters pulses,
He's happy and joyful in his steps.
no. But a good guess. Caleb?
He's surprised good vibes. He spreads kindness, joy, and stuff.
To who in
To girls.
particular?
Everybody.
Not everybody.
The
Specifically,
rich people who like mess.
there you go. The idea that when he walks in, lady folks, when they see him, get all giggly, like, oh, Richard, Cory, hey. And you get the all giggly and the waving of yourself. And he has, I hate to say it, natural riz. Not when you have to do the awkward across the chin kind of riz, but just like when you just walk in and the lady's like, oh my god, look at that guy's eyes, oh my god. And so something like that kind of riz, where you just naturally is attractive, that you can look at him from like across the lunchroom kind of thing. And what? I'm just giving you examples. And then it says he glittered when he walked. Well,
He's got sparkly shoes.
does he wear flashy clothing?
No, he's just glowing. Like
That would
His
bring attention.
skin is glowing.
no, like because like
That
No,
would
he's
bring
so
attention
beautiful.
to him.
like I know what you mean though.
That makes it tough to agree.
Like
You know, it's just like, he glows.
He just looks good.
I'll go with that. I mean, I don't think you guys are
I
that far
literally
off.
said he
Yeah,
was
no,
so
I
handsome
agree.
and he glows.
So I think it's. Do you guys know the Orbit gum commercials?
So.
Where
Yeah.
they get covered like in mud and they smile like little.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, is that Snoop Dogg?
That is Snoop Dogg.
Yay.
And so the idea that when you see him is just like this general happiness, smiley bit that comes from him. So far, what are your thoughts about Richard Cory?
Robot.
Rich. He's rich. He's rich.
Have they said anything about him being rich?
Nope.
He's hot. Yes, and pearly.
He's Timothy.
Imperially?
I don't know how to say that.
Barely.
Imperially. Got you. So I guess it does refer to him being.
Pearly.
He can buy stuff.
So that doesn't mean he's rich there. It just means that when I say rich, slim, the fact that he
He
works
wears
out.
nice clothes.
I can see that. And the fact that they don't stand out with
And
nice clothes.
He's hot.
And he definitely seems to be hot. I would go with that one. So who is my stanza 3 person?
I think it's Robot.
Stanza 3, we're going to find out whether or not he has money and what the people around him are thinking of him.
He's a fish.
Stanza 3. That's you.
He's a thief.
And he was rich, yes, rich.
He's in the mafia.
And admirably schooled in every grace, and fine we thought that he was everything, to make us wish that we were in his place.
Thank you, Jameson. Well done. And he was rich, yes, richer than a king, and admirably schooled in every grace. And fine, we thought he was everything to make us wish we were in his place.
Oh.
So earlier I said that he doesn't dress fancy, and the fact that he treats everyone like a human makes more sense. Because what do we find out about him?
He is rich.
How rich?
Richer than a king.
And how rich is richer than a king?
Very
rich.
rich.
Are you
Richer than
guys
Kardashian.
familiar with
was rich before he even
He's in the
like Elon, I was going to say Scrooge McDuck.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
The Scrooge
Scrooge
McDuck
McDuck.
diving into the piles of
I
gold
know
levels.
him.
What's
going?
Yeah.
Isn't
He's
that
my
a
uncle.
Christmas movie?
No, you're
Ah,
not.
yeah, nice done.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
And so here, Scrooge McDuck levels of rich. So the fact that he treats everyone normal now plays a bigger role. And the fact that he does not dress blingy with drip makes a bigger role. This line, he was admirably schooled in every grace.
He had a good
Gentleman.
education.
Not bad. It goes more than just education, but you're on the right track.
Private school.
Gentleman.
What's that?
Gentleman.
We covered that, but you're on the right track again. Do you guys, or have you had a friend that is smart and athletic?
Yeah.
He's like a nerd but good at sports.
Also turns out they're good at like every video game they play.
Bro, that's you.
He's really smart but athletic too at the same time.
And all the people seem to like him and are attracted to him.
Because he plays sports all the time.
And he manages to lose points in class for talking all the time. Oh, wait, no, that would not be him. And so here, the admirably schooled is the fact that it covers he's smart, he's athletic, he's great at any game he plays, people all seem to like him, which brings us to, in fine, we thought that he was everything to make us wish that we were in his place. What emotion are they feeling towards him?
Envy.
What
Empathy.
poem that we read recently had that same emotion?
Annabelle Lee.
Because who felt it?
The angels.
Sort of the same thing the angels felt towards Annabelle Lee, and dude, is how everybody in town feels towards him. Which leads us to our final stanza. Who is my stanza 4? Ready, stanza 4?
I am.
There you go, Caleb. And the last line will pop up as you read.
So on we worked and waited for the light, and went without the meat, and cursed the bread, and Richard Cory one calm summer night went home and put a bullet. Whoa, okay. Put a bullet through his head.
Nice.
Oh.
He's a mafia boss.
So on we worked
Oh.
and waited for the light, and went without the meat, and cursed the bread, and Richard Cory, one calm summer night, went home and put a bullet through his head.
That took a big
I
turn.
know what? It's because he didn't want all the
Because the other mafias are after him.
Guys, stop not freaking Among Us. Like,
Well,
What the?
one, what is it he does that in a poem?
Kill himself.
Suicide.
So,
The mafia
seems to be the opposite of what we were expecting throughout the entire poem building up to it. Here's why I like poem and how I connect it to your lives. Well, let's back up.
We all want
With this one, I'm going to read the poem the whole way through without breaks. There are two big things that are not mentioned in the poem that are left out. And the idea is that you can figure out what is not mentioned in the poem.
his parents.
Let's go. Richard Cory. Whenever Richard Cory went downtown, we people on the pavement looked at him. He was a gentleman from sole to crown, clean-favored and imperially slim. He was always quietly arrayed, and he was always human when he talked. But still he fluttered pulses when he said good morning, and he glittered when he walked. He was rich, yes, richer than a king, and admirably schooled in every grace. In fine, we thought that he was everything to make us wish that we were in his place. So on we worked, and waited for the light, and went without the meat, and cursed the bread. And Richard Cory, one calm summer night, went home and put a bullet through his head.
I know why. I know.
Dylan.
It's probably because he didn't want all the attention. That's why he didn't dress nice and stuff.
Not bad thinking. Caleb?
It never said he was happy throughout the whole thing.
That is one big part of it. It never once talks about him being happy himself.
Oh, maybe,
Dylan?
maybe people wanted money from him or something.
That could very well
The
be.
mafia.
They used him for his money.
So, to go along with the using him for his
I
money,
love you in the mafia.
if we were to ask you guys the things that make you happy, what are two things that you guys would make you happy that are not listed?
Technology.
My
friends.
What about Finn?
He's amazing and beautiful.
He's a friend.
We're on the right track.
Wait, friends.
Friends.
Family.
Does it talk about friends or family?
No.
No,
His
he was
parents
lonely.
neglected him.
Throughout-
He's adopted. He's adopted. He's abandoned.
How do you know?
He
could have been adopted and his parents thought he was
Black
adopted.
market.
I lived.
Why do
So,
people
Ella,
cannot control illegal things?
not necessarily. The idea that I see here, welcome back, Lacey,
He's abused by us.
is the fact that it never once talks about friends, it never talks about family. You can put the purple paper there and grab the green paper. And so because of that, we might guess that he's lonely in some way. Here's my question to you. How does this poem connect to junior high?
We have friends.
They just stay in the room. They just stay in the room.
Fine, Isaac, I'll charge you the points. I was trying to help you out as best I could. You were persistent. All right. Then let's go. Have you heard the idiom, don't judge a book by its cover?
No.
So that's my question. Look at this. Throughout the entire poem, what do we assume about him?
He's
happy.
He's happy.
And what do we find out about him?
He's not happy.
So how would that connect to junior high?
We're not happy.
You're on the right track. Dylan?
I had to add something to it. He probably killed himself because he had like no family and they were probably all
Because
dead.
his parents neglected him.
I agree.
He's adopted.
Caleb?
So it's like somebody could act really happy, but you never know what's going on, like outside of school and in their real life.
I would definitely agree with that. Isaac?
He's trying to say that we don't have friends.
Not every.
That's not me.
So what we're going on this one has the family and friends means the fact that many of you guys do have family and friends.
Yes.
But when you see that kid that is popular, that lives in that really nice house and has all the best
His
clothes,
parents neglected him.
what is it was easy to assume about that person?
His dad was the king.
But
They're happy.
the fact that when you see someone on the outside, you don't know what's going on the inside. And I had a kid earlier also connect this to kids and social media. How would this connect to social media?
Because social media is fake.
How so?
Because you can post whatever you want, make it look like whatever you want.
And so social media is the same way, where it's this idea where you are judging based on what we see, but we don't know what's happening behind it. You don't know what's actually going on in someone's life. Presley?
Never mind.
So I'm in a unique position where I have a lot of kids who come to talk to me after school, 7th grade, 8th grade, and high schoolers who come back. And when I was in junior high myself, and even as a teacher, for a long time, I thought I could figure out which kids have rough home lives and which kids have pretty good home lives. But the more and more kids who come back and talk to me after school and share their lives with me, I have both the outcast kids who come and talk to me and the popular kids who come and talk to me. And the similarities between them has astounded me the longer I have taught. The number of kids who seem to have everything going for them, who seem to be that super perfect kid, who will come into my room and be miserable and tell me about how awful their home life is and how they feel they can't tell anyone about it because they're afraid that they're going to get judged if even their best friends knew about it. And how even though they are popular, how incredibly lonely they feel because they don't feel really connected to their friends. Because they worry that if you say the wrong thing, friends may turn against you. If you make a new friend, you have to worry if that friend only wants to be with you because of your popularity. And the fact is, so many people seem to judge others without really knowing who they are. Viv?
So there's these kids in my art class like talk about this kid's dad because he got arrested, and they like make fun of him. Yeah, I don't know.
He's on my bus. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
and
make
he
fun
like
of him.
made fun of him for having his dad get arrested or something.
So
Yeah,
the
and
whole
it's
judging
for
on the outside.
for
Like,
abusing his mom.
The kid goes with it. Just I feel. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Because what else can you do?
No, people
Yeah,
ask
but
me
they make fun of him being Asian. They make fun of his household. They make fun of his accent. They make fun of his eyes.
I thought you guys at one point told me that bullying didn't really happen here in our school.
Oh no, it happens.
Oh, it happens. It's just we don't normally pay attention.
Interesting. Huh. So
I've never seen bowling before.
apparently she went to her art class.
You're
This
really inner science class.
poem was also turned into a song, and I'm going to play the song for you here. in just a
please
moment.
don't.
That's why I have a little speaker thing down here.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you, the song is old,
Is it
but
like scratchy?
not quite scratchy old, but they do use things like guitar, and they try to have melody and stuff like that, which seems to throw some kids off. They've also expanded. Like, they're going to tell you a lot more about Richard Cory because they add to it. What happens to Richard Cory stays the same, but they'll tell you how he got his money, and they're going to tell you about, like, fun things he does. And the guy, the one that says we thought that he was everything, you're going to find out something more about him, too. We're going to find out. Home children, I have to pause because I can't play the YouTube video with it being recorded.
Leave it fine, right?
Did
Okay,
you guys
you can't yell.
pick up in the song?
He has a factory.
He has a factory. And they also mentioned a couple of the guy.
He was born with the money.
He was what?
He was born with the money.
That he was born with the money. They
But
tell
also
you.
said something about him getting cursed.
And the fact I'm saying that we curse the bread, meaning this part. We're talking the fact that went without the meat and curse the bread. The fact that they have nothing. Toby, are you raising your hand at me? And they mentioned the fact that he was a banker's only child. It was a big they mentioned in there too. And then I think all the other stuff stayed the same there. Anyway, now let's see who we can give points to.
Oh, I wish that I could be.
What is the one? Like your ass.
Therefore, use more. Have I done this yet?
Everyone has, except, well, no, we have a lot of kids in this class who've not had a chance to yet.
didn't, and I got all
I
5 points.
Slow, and you have gone.
Like comparing
And into there.
Wait, can you put it up? That's weird.
Sorry, didn't mean
Wait,
to.
no, wait, say it again.
Sloan?
I don't know why that sounds so weird.
Me either. But unfortunately, class is over.